Welcome to Comfort Havoc number 2. My name is James Williams Jr. I'm your host for the day. Got to do this real quickly so I can get back on my homework. But before I do, um, you know, a woman once told me that nobody hates women more than women. And throughout time and space of my lifetime, I have been told this lots of times by girls, and I never was one to truly believe it. And because sometimes people just say shit, and you're either gonna believe it or you're not. And that being said, I come across this thing on my top buzz again, and I gotta go ahead and do this report. So, police are hunting a woman who sexually assaulted a teenage girl on a train from London to Milton Keyes. Release CCTV image of the suspect. Sadly, it's a black woman, so she just ruined it for black people in London and around the world. Gotta be her. If there's a better picture, I'll find it. Police is hunting a woman who sexually assaulted a teenage girl on the train. CCTV is released. Woman touched her victim's thigh repeatedly on the train from London to Easton Milton Keynes between 7:15 p.m. and 8 p.m. Monday, August 19th, according to British Transport Police. Detectives have released a picture in an attempt to trace the woman. So this black woman has just screwed it up for everybody. That's her. Good job. And I guess this was the place. And that kind of sucks because, I never would have thought that women would hurt other women. But as time has gone on, and yes, I constantly critique girl fights on YouTube and stuff, and I'm kind of understand that the person that told me that no one hates women more than women is telling me the truth, and that's been telling me the truth, and I just didn't want to see it because I'm a man who really loves women and don't think that women would do other stuff like that outside of sports entertainment, because it's their job to hate people for pretend and beat them up in the ring, and then we don't know what happens when the camera's cut off, but we do know what happens when the camera's cut off most of the time. But I want to touch on that because it kind of stunned me. A BTS spokesperson said, "We are releasing the CTT image after the sexual assault on board the train from London, etc. The woman was reported to having touched a teenage girl's thigh a number of times." See, the line of sexual assault is very blurry to me. I'm going to get into that in a minute. This has happened, okay, we did that already. And that's pretty much the end of the story. Alright, now let me explain to y'all why the line of sexual assault is blurry to me before I end this video. When I was younger, sexual assault only meant one thing to me because before I started taking these law enforcement classes, to me, sexual assault was rape. I didn't know that there was another part of sexual assault until I started taking these classes. To me, sexual assault was forcible rape where a man takes a woman into an alley, beats her up, and has sex with her by force, by knife, or by gunpoint. And then, the rape and molestation of children. Those are the only things I thought was sexual assault. However, rape and sexual assault actually has a unique difference, if you can believe it or not, because I did not know that rape was not really considered sexual assault by itself. I just thought that rape was sexual assault, whether it was being a woman raped by a man, or a woman raped by a woman, or a woman raping a man, which I didn't know that could happen until I started taking these classes, because no man really reports rape unless it's just like a sodomy attack or whatever. But so apparently sexual assault is groping, fondling, and touching people without their consent in specific body parts. So if a woman comes up to me and rubs my chest and then goes down below, that's sexual assault. It starts when she rubbed my chest, especially if it's a woman that I don't know. Now, I did not know that qualified as sexual assault until I took these classes. So apparently there are some bumps in the road on sexual assault. If I grope a girl and grab her by her breast, it's sexual assault. especially if she's not consenting to this. Now, there are some limitations on that if for actually like we're models and the director of the photography says, I need you to cup her breasts. So you're either going to cup her breasts like this, or you're going to cup one breast with one hand, and you guys are going to strike specific poses. Just for the record, before we even do any of that, for anybody who's intending on giving me any acting work, we have to have a discussion. You, me, the actress involved. Because I don't want to do anything that's going to make the actress uncomfortable. Hell, I'm going to be uncomfortable as it is because of the Me Too movement. And I went through this experience when I was taking Photoshops for the school, in which if you go to their website, you can see me. But I was told by the photographer, I want you to put your arms around their arms. Like, you know how friends walk with their arms? I've never done that with my friends, and I don't have enough female friends that I would be comfortable enough doing that with. Plus, one girl was engaged, and one girl was young enough to be my child, had I had children, and I was really uncomfortable. And the day we filmed that, Bill Cosby had just got arrested. So I kind of was like, I really don't want to do that. And now I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because sexual assault is the touching, groping of a person without their consent. So if I'm touching on a lady's thighs and I don't know her, she can have me arrested for sexual assault. If I'm touching on her thighs and I do know her, she can have me arrested for sexual assault. Even though I did not rape her, I touched her thighs. So I'm not touching nobody without a contract signing and not a negotiation. Because apparently, if I'm not making a movie, I'm not allowed to touch anybody. So, you can like rub someone's shoulders and still possibly be accused of sexual assault. And I've learned this. I'm like, well, damn. I'm trying to get my acting career off the ground, and there will be scenes where I have to make physical contact with an actress. And now I can't because it could be considered sexual assault. So there's some pros and cons there that has gotten me all twisted up and confused. That being said, I'm going to end this video on a positive note. If you are being sexually assaulted or touched and uncomfortable, you can always report it to someone. The police, a teacher you trust, a family member, unless it's a family member that's doing it, then you want to report it to someone else, like the police. But understand that there are differences between sexual assault and rape and consensual touching. Alright? So that's why I kind of made that video, because of that whole thing there. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Comfort Havoc number 2. Please keep your hands to yourself.